Reach the hyper-local audience in Montgomery County? Lone Star Community Radio sponsorships accomplish this. Want to see our stats and rates? Check out irlonestar.com/sponsor for more information. Or call in and leave us a message at 936-647-3776 with your questions. Get seen on TV, YouTube, and heard on our podcast, FM, and internet radio. Support your local radio station with Lone Star Community Radio.
Thank you for listening to Lone Star Community Radio. This program was broadcasted and recorded live from the LSCR studios in downtown Conroe, Texas. Lone Star Community Radio is supported by listeners like you. Donate and sponsor today. For more information on getting involved with Lone Star Community Radio, contact us at lscrstudios@gmail.com or visit us online at www.irlonestar.com.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you so much for joining us on the Cindy Cochran Show. Was I too loud when I started that, Richard? Did I blow your ears out? Okay, good.
No, you did not.
You're in total control. Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you to our sponsor, Chris Wootton, who is, of course, head of the Wootton Financial Group, and that if you want to find someone who's been around for over 21 years, which means they must be doing something right, is that you would want to call the Wootton Financial Group and talk to Chris. Chris will they'll give you an appointment. You can come in for free, and you can kick the tires, as Chris says, and see how you get along and how much you like him. And I mean,
This
I
is
wouldn't
way
use
too
him.
long. This is way
Be
too
quiet.
long.
Yeah. Do you have something
You
pertinent you
all
need
you
to
gotta
say?
say is WoottonFinancial.com. All your financial planning needs in the Montgomery County area.
But
you can call them at 936-449-5952 or visit them online at WoottonFinancial.com. And you'll be able to see him tomorrow.
Well, that's what I was leading up to.
And then we can now we can go on to the show.
Well, anyway, so tomorrow he'll be here, and we're going to talk about budgets. And if you have anything you'd like to ask him, be sure and you can put it on the Lone Star Community Radio Facebook on the Cindy Cochran Show, right? If they put in the Cindy Cochran Show search on,
it's Lone Star Community Radio. It's on you're on Lone Star Community Radio.
I know that.
So you look up Lone Star Community Radio.
But then you got a lot of hosts on here. You got a lot of programs.
Right now, if you go to Lone Star Community Radio, we're first.
We're
because
first.
we're live.
Go
so
there.
there you go. Or
We're
YouTube,
first.
look up Lone Star Community Radio. There you go.
And then you can put questions down that you'd like to have
Lone
me
Star
ask him
Community Radio.
tomorrow. Okay. Did you get something to eat before we started the show? Are you hungry?
Yeah, I'm very hungry.
It's gonna be a
I'm
long
saving up
show.
I'm saving up for tonight.
What are you gonna do tonight?
Watch the baseball game.
Oh, the Astros?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Did you watch it last night?
Yeah.
I was having to go all over Montgomery and back, and I had to, go to Siri and say, "What's the
See, this is what I'm talking
what's
about,
the
Cindy.
score?"
Were you dropping off your product that you've been dealing around Montgomery County? Because what was it yesterday? You said you got a large shipment in, and now I'm learning that you're driving around Montgomery County.
Yeah, I'm a Tupperware
Yeah. Oh, that's a
person.
That's actually a good cover.
I don't know if they still have Tupperware.
You know, it's great. Andrew is a big fan of your show, so he always likes to listen when he can. And we have a great topic on our show next week because I found this article of this guy who lived in a retirement community.
Yes.
And he would sell the little blue pill. But he got caught with it was either $1,600 worth or $16,000 worth. I remember it being like a 1.6.
Oh, my word.
But he got caught with it, and apparently he was arrested and all that kind of stuff. and then the community complained. Like there was like an organized complaint against the police for arresting this guy.
Oh, I bet they're embarrassed though to put their name on the list.
I don't think they really care.
Oh, okay. Well,
have you ever been to a planned community like that?
Of course.
So they don't care. They already know where they are in their life
and where they're going.
Yeah. It's the older folks who live by themselves in no support area. Those are the people you got to worry about.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true.
Because I mean, if you go to a planned community, everyone's kind of keeping an eye on each other, especially when you're trying to sell blue pills. And they got your back.
Do you think everybody knows what the blue pill is?
I hope so, because
Okay.
I'm not saying anything else like that. But no, we were talking about that,
Yeah.
and it was pretty funny because I was like, I think that's the only time I can like actually hear or see the police have some leniency. Because what do you do?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Like-
Why wouldn't take that away from
No,
them?
it's like just imagine a bunch of older people coming and just saying, "Why? Why are you taking this away from us? We weren't complaining. No one snitched on him. He just got pulled over and he just had a lot of pills." So, Cindy, I thought of you when I read that article. I'm like, she's going to get pulled over and she's going to have all these herb pills in her car. And
Yeah, that's what you thought. First thing you thought. Yeah, that's.
this white substance that helps blood clots when you get.
It's a blood coagulant.
I know it is.
I could start that story over again. Okay, so
Did you have a good rest of the day driving around Montgomery County?
no, because we went over to get his driver's permit, and you have to have
Oh, see, I told you.
the original birth certificate.
Yeah, always.
And the original. Why wouldn't I know that? I've driven a lot longer than you have, but they must have just started
No,
that.
they did this thing. I believe it's called like it might be a national thing. It's called like ID check. I want to say that's what it's called. And basically, if you look at your ID, and
Yes.
this is part of the I believe the FAA.
You mean
Like-
your driver's license?
Yeah, so like on my driver's license, once you do like the birth certificate and you do all that kind of stuff, you get this little star on your ID.
Yeah, that she said, we
And-
haven't scanned your birth certificate.
Yeah, and
To me.
that's for flying.
Oh.
Like you apparently can't fly unless you update your ID.
Ah.
Because-
Is this a national security?
Well, I think
thing?
it's a national security thing. But
Well,
yeah,
I'm
I
glad they
learned.
got there just in time.
Well,
yes,
luckily I have all my stuff in a little safe, and
you do. Oh.
yeah, of course, and it can survive temperatures up to no.
Had that guy on the
That's one
show.
thing I love is like that was a gift from my father when I graduated college,
That was.
and one of my favorite things was like it's really heavy, right? And I go, well, I guess that was the solution to making it, fireproof because you just can't lift it. So they probably had that brain tank thinking it's like, well, if there's a fire, they can't take this with them. Well, we better make it fireproof because that way they can have that ease of like, oh, it's fine.
Oh yeah.
We'll just let the house burn on top of
Right.
it. It'll be
As
good.
soon as they put the fire out, we'll be getting there and getting it. Yeah.
Because some
No, I
people
didn't know
put their jewelry and stuff in it, and it's like, don't forget the valuables, and you're trying to move the safe. You're like, what do we do?
I don't know. That's
I don't think that's really how they had the
that's
conversation,
kind of,
but
if you have a box to keep your jewelry in and try and keep it safe. I have nothing. I have my comic books. I have my Archie comic
Yeah.
books. I could put those in a safe.
well, what's funny is like in our family, we've had just generational stuff passed down. So
You come from a bougie family.
well, not bougie.
do.
It's just we've been in Texas for 7 generations, and so when you don't really move, you kind of just collect things. Have you not noticed that about human beings? Like when you don't move, you collect things over the years.
Well, sure.
So
Of
of course they're going to pass down stuff that has some value to it because sometimes you luck out. And that's one thing I wonder what's going to happen because I had this conversation with my mother the other day because my grandmother lives in a planned community kind of thing in Houston. And so she had to downgrade all her stuff. So she gave all because I think she only has like 1 bedroom, a kitchen, living room kind of thing and a bath, like 2 bathrooms, and then she has an office. It's just like a little apartment. So you go from a house to that.
Yes.
All the stuff, right?
That's amazing.
And so
was she happy when she did that because she felt like she had rid herself of all that?
Unfortunately for her, she I call this the Shisler gene, is she worries about things, and when she worries about things, nothing else matters. So she sat there worrying about every single thing she had to get rid of. So she was in that mode when she was moving. Like I walk in, she'd be like, "Hey, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want this?" And I'm like, "No, I don't want any of this stuff." Like, what are we talking about here?
Richard, she didn't like invite the whole family over and let them pick through what they want?
Well, I think there was a secret meeting about the valuable stuff, because one thing my grandparents really loved doing was getting art. Like, so that's what they would do. They would travel, they go on their travels, and they find a local artist they liked, and they buy a painting.
Oh.
And they did that for, I don't know, they were married 50-something years. So you can imagine how much art they have.
Did any of those artists become really
I want to
famous?
say yes. And
Wow.
but what's it, and that's what I was trying to get is to the interesting thing is like people my age, do they even own art? Like, I don't even know.
That's
And then
not a print? I
Well,
don't know.
it's kind of
Probably
like
not.
the value, because I know that was something I think I can see my grandfather justifying buying it. It's like, oh, this could be worth something one day. So we want to. It's okay, but my generation, I'm trying to think like, what does our generation buy? They think there's going to have value in the future.
That's
Because
hard to know.
it's-
That's really hard to know because everything changes so fast. Your devices that you have.
Well, that's the unfortunate thing
eight-track,
too. Well, like, because like if you look at technology, like you said, it moves so fast. Technology was built to be used. So if it has no use, it's like the value of it goes dramatically down.
Right.
And like again, art has this advantage because there's no use in art unless you put value in art. Mm-hmm. You know, like there's
But something has to die. Something has to happen to the artist
maybe.
if he dies.
Maybe, or the style of art. Like, look at Bob Ross. Like, Bob Ross's art is not that big of a deal, but he had a TV show, so
That's
everyone's
right.
like, oh, let's get it.
Right.
Because literally he taught everyone how to paint like him.
Right.
So
that's
it's
right.
not like it's not like he has this unique style that. So that's what I'm saying. Is it's one of
And the young kids, it was funny because like Cindy and Samuel would be like my grandchildren would be like, oh, I want the Bob Ross poster, and I went, what? Why would you want the Bob Ross poster? And they said, oh, we love Bob Ross. That was just the strangest thing to see.
We have Dennis is on our YouTube, and hello, Dennis. Thank you for listening to the Cindy Cochran Show, sponsored by Wootton Financial Group.
Hey, Dennis.
And he asked this really important question because I already have, I think, the answer in my head. He asked, the Archie comic books, are they in a safe or in a safe place kind of thing? Or are they just kind of like all over your room? Because probably a lot of them are in the restroom, I bet. And then
Yes.
that's disgusting.
You ask. I tell you everything.
I know. No, with your Archie comic books and stuff, do you value certain ones? Or have you ever actually went on like a book or something that said like which ones are more valuable than the others? Because I imagine there's like, edition 1 of comic book 1.
My mom tried to get me to put them into a plastic bag and seal them up, and that would be. I said, but I like to read them. Why would
Yeah.
I do that? And she said,
understandable.
because you want to keep it in really good shape, and that's the main thing is to try and keep it in the best shape you can, and then you can go to the Comic Con or whatever, and then trade them. But there's no way I would ever want to trade or anything like that. But I had a great collection, and Sam found this box that I had put all these, and these were like old. I mean, like the beginning of Archie's, way back in the 40s. And so I had that, and Sam threw them all away. And I
Yeah.
was trying to find the box. And I said, "Where's my comic books?" And he said, well, I just got rid of them. They were just sitting in the garage." And I went, "What?" I was so mad. And so I had to just start all over again with my collection. But I had all those ones that people, whenever Betty and Veronica were, really just met Archie when he moved into to
understand.
town. It was really
But you've never. But it sounds like you never really did any research to see if there's any value to it.
no. There were people, people paid good money for.
But I'm talking about your collection. I mean, I'm not. I know you're saying in the general idea of having Archie comic books, there's value in it. But I'm asking the ones you have. Did you do any research? Be like, oh, I need to make sure I put this one in a safe spot because
No,
it's worth more.
no.
So you shouldn't be disappointed in the lost value in it.
No, but it was just no. I just wanted to read. I just wanted to
Yeah,
have
I
them to go back and read them. But it was amazing because I was trying to explain to him one comic book could have been worth $300. So he never did that again. I have like big boxes in my closet.
Yeah, but the quality of them are probably terrible because paper breaks down if you're just leaving it in a box.
Yeah, and they certainly look well read. That's the only books I ever read.
Some people like that. We've all seen The Sandlot.
You call them what?
We've all seen The Sandlot, the movie.
Oh yeah.
You remember the collector at the end? He'd rather have the dog ball than the actual ball signed by.
Right, that's right. Because the sentimental value of that was so strong.
Now you just need to find the blind old neighbor and see if you can trick him.
Yeah, that would be.
That's one thing I loved about the end of that movie. Because as a kid, when I watched it, it was a fun movie, right?
It really was.
But then when I watched it when I was older, I go, did they just trick this blind guy? Like, these kids could have easily been like, yeah, the ball's signed by Babe Ruth. And the blind guy has no idea.
And that moisture on it is not from the dog, it's from
Well, now you're going
Babe
a little
Ruth.
too far. You're going a little too far.
Because the dog, I'm not going to explain it. Okay, so anyway, Sam,
Is your phone going off?
yes, how could you?
I have a spidey sense about that kind of
It's
stuff.
health care. Do you want me to answer it?
No.
Okay.
They should really scare you and you answer it and it goes, how's your pulse? Because we think you're dying.
Yeah, that's right. No, that test came back and that was the wrong one. The one yours, you only have a few minutes to live, so hurry this show up. But Sam would get so mad because I don't value the past. I don't pictures and things like that.
I can see that.
I don't save them.
It looks like you dress in the present too.
Look, just because this is to pay homage to my mother. My mother always wore black, and so all the kids now all wear black.
Because Sam was definitely wearing black yesterday.
Yes, and
Or Samuel. I don't know.
Samuel. Yes. Oh,
I
he
don't
had a
wanna-
really
I don't
good
want to
time.
confuse the audio listeners. Saying young Sam was in.
Young Samuel. Yes. Oh, yeah. Right. Samantha was really smart. My youngest daughter, when she had a boy and a girl, and she named them after her parents. It was smart because
Because you love them more.
well,
Is that
she give them more money because you're my namesake. I'll give you more money. No, but then Cash came along, and they called him Cash, and I thought that was pretty smart. And that's my only other grandchild. So
that you know of?
no, I'm sure.
I mean, you can still have kids. We already discussed that. So you technically could still have children today.
Well, if I had them today, and they took
Yeah.
like 20 years to grow up to have
You
children,
probably not might make it.
probably wouldn't be there. Could you crash it?
No, you'll do.
Visit my
what
grave.
you would do is you do like the movie thing where you would tell your your current daughters and sons, be like, can you pretend to be their parents because I'm too old.
Yeah.
I think that is actually a plot in the movie. I'm trying to think of what movie it was. That was the twist. Was the child was raised thinking like, oh, this is my mom and my dad, and it turned out to be like actually his sister and her husband, because the grandma, his grandma was his actual mother.
Oh man.
But there was she was so much older.
Poor things. How
I wonder
confusing
what
that would be. Well, if I'm 75 in November, and I live to be, let's see.
Let's be conservative. Let's do 101.
That's my father-in-law died at 101.
So that's
Of course, that
26
means
years.
nothing.
You would have 20. He'd be 26, or she, or it, or whatever you want to call it. He,
Yeah.
she, them, him.
And
So
I
yeah,
said,
be 26. What's wrong with that?
bring the child closer to me so I can feel it. Oh, it's a cute little baby. I don't think that would work. I don't. And they probably want to say, "But Grandma, could you just watch it for a while? We'll be right back. we're gonna go to the show. We'll be right
You'll
back."
still
and
be
you watch
doing grandma stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. If I just keep taking my balance of nature, I know that will help.
I don't know if that would like freak people out though. If balance of nature, that's their tagline. Like you can still have kids at 75. Like I think that would be really like, wait, what?
No, thank you.
Because
It's
you know, with medical science is going to keep advancing, so people who are getting older who still want to have children will still have children. You know, it's going to happen. It's going to get more progressive with the ages.
Oh no. Well, because I mean,
No, I mean, think about this woman at 75. Like, what's curious to me is were they trying?
well,
And I think yes. Well, I think yes because.
that was immaculate conception. What do you think? What?
Well, no, I meant like because I know you can still do that kind of stuff, activities when you're older, but like
Right.
most people are like, oh, I don't want to have kids, I'm done, so they do a surgery or something. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if this lady in India was like, you know what, I am on this earth just to keep going. And I know she had a lot of kids. I think she had like almost 20 kids or something like that.
No, she didn't.
I think it was something like that. It was like either like in the mid 15s or
Oh my!
because she had twins. That was the last birth she gave were twins.
Can you imagine?
But I mean, but again, you have these people who are older, and they're having kids, and like they know because I've never always talked about that where like the biological clock is always ticking for
Yeah.
women, and like it hits them like a freight train when
Right.
they hit like 30, and they're like, what do I do?
I've got to have.
But
a
now
baby
it's like,
now.
oh, hey, you can literally take that egg and that sperm and put it in this other lady who's younger,
Yes,
and you can have a baby
Yes.
as if you're having a baby.
and be the grandma and mom to it.
I mean, didn't
and
Robert
all.
De Niro and Al Pacino like just have kids?
Robert De Niro, I think, just did, and
I think Al Pacino did too.
both of them.
Yeah, it's like they're probably in a club or something there.
Oh, how cute! Mm-hmm. Imagine having when you get old enough to realize that's not your grandfather; that is your father. I am your father, and that would be really strange. That I just
No, I think
don't
it'd be
think
fine.
that's way
Just
too
depends
old.
on what society's agreeable with. I mean, no one really cares about Robert De Niro really,
Yeah,
besides the acting. So it's like, yeah, he had a kid.
and he acted the same way in every single movie. He was the same person.
That's fine.
He wasn't.
He put his work in.
No, but see, to me, an actor changes. Has some kind of evolution process that puts him in a part.
But why change something that works? I mean, if you think about Raging Bull, I want to say that was his first like really big movie that he was like, he's such a great actor. And then The Godfather 2, and then like everything after that, that's when he became the Robert De Niro that everybody's used to. So when he did Raging Bull, no one thought he's acting like Robert De Niro.
No, but
That's what I'm saying. So that's how great of an actor he is. He basically established himself as like that is an acting type.
But he decided, I'm not going to act like I'm fat. I'm going to get fat. And so he
some
put a
his
lot of
stuff-
weight on.
He's pretty good in some movies.
And then, well, the ones that put their weight on and then take
Like
the
I
weight
really
off
like him in Casino.
is what?
I really liked him in Casino.
He was in Casino, yeah.
I really
That was good.
liked him in that movie because he wasn't just like the hardcore mobster, but he was still a mobster kind
Of
of
course,
guy.
yeah.
But it
yeah.
wasn't like the Joe Pesci type where he like threatens everybody he sees. And it's
No,
like,
it was whoever wrote that had to have him in mind when they wrote that script because that was him all over the place. But getting back to what we talking, I love Ask Me Anything.
And
So
he was good in
Andrew
Heat.
asked that, huh?
and he was good in Heat. Dennis asked that.
Okay, I know Dennis asked that, but did Andrew ask a question yet?
I would let you know if someone did. I'm paying attention now.
Okay, Dennis, thank you so much for paying attention to us and listening to us. He's so sweet. He's like every day, or if he misses, he goes back and binges. Can you imagine binging on our show? Not
Yeah.
Ask Me Anything, but he was.
Yeah, they would hope you actually get pregnant so you take time off. So let me.
Oh, that was
So
mean.
so Dennis did ask another question on YouTube. Why do you like Archie?
I read it from when I was
So you just like it.
young, and so it became part of my like childhood. And they kept making Archie as I grew older, and I kept buying it, and I go to the stores and buy it.
Yeah.
I just found out that HEB is selling Archie.
Is it more of like the isn't, because when I think of Archie, I think of that typical love triangle.
Yeah, Betty.
So it's like that's what the comic book was about, is like the drama.
Well, I mean,
And
there were a lot
school.
of different characters.
Yeah.
That
It was like
it's
school.
a-
It was about going to school and growing up and having
right
the
the
drama,
same
the
problems.
drama.
Yeah,
The drama.
yeah. They were like 70 years old. They were still in high school, and it was okay because they never grew older. So you just watched them, and they had little Archie. It was funny. They kind of went back and started a little Archie after he was already in high school, but they would have these flashbacks of him being younger. But it's a very, very good. It was good until they decided they were going to modernize it and have.
I mean, it's the same stories, just told,
No, they had-
told
no.
a little differently and updated.
No, they wanted to make it socially correct.
Well, that's one thing I love. Like, what was it? I think it was Snow White. They're remaking or doing something with Snow White, and there's this controversy that my conspiracy theory is created all online. Like, it wasn't really a controversy until someone's like, let's make a big stink about this.
Right.
And the main actress was talking about basically it sounded like when I listened to the clip, it sounded like a totally different movie than Snow White.
So
'Cause-
it wasn't dwarfs.
Well, it was so like
Little
there's not
people?
dwarves, and there's not a prince, and she's like a sorceress herself or something. And I'm like, so this isn't Snow White.
She didn't
This-
need a guy to kiss her.
Well, something
She
like
could
that.
go-
Well, Snow White didn't. I don't
She
think
could wake
that's the
up.
wrong one.
Yeah.
But the way she was describing it, the main actress was like, that doesn't even sound like Snow White. Like, what movie are they making? And I was thinking to myself, I go, why would you even want to change that?
Yeah.
Like, if you want to make Snow White, make Snow White. But if you want to make this movie, make that movie.
Right. Just doing, but don't call it Snow Dark, because they're gonna have. They're just making it seem like the trailer, or a little bit of the trailer that they showed.
They had a trailer?
Was, well, it
Is
may
that where
not
the
have been a
stink came
trailer.
from?
It just, huh?
Is that where the stink came from? Because when I started seeing this, I was like, this movie's coming out in like a year and a half. Why are people already upset about it? Like, what happened? Was there a leak or something? Like,
Must have been probably a leak.
besides this woman
They wanted
talking
to
about
test,
it.
Probably wanted to test the audience if they would treat it like they did Bud Light or something. And say,
Well,
I'm not
yeah,
gonna share it.
they're making the current ones, the remakes, really, like you said, dark. Like, they're changing the angle, and it's not, it's not the princess butterflies. It's like the princess bats.
Right.
Like, she's got to have a bat now instead of a butterfly, and which is cool, whatever. I mean, but it's just funny when you listen to that woman's clip who's playing Snow White describing the movie, and it's like, well, that doesn't sound like Snow White. That sounds like a totally different movie or story, basically. And it's
Well,
like,
what's
okay.
funny is those Disney movies. My grandmother managed a theater in the East End, and I worked there, but I went there when I was little, and so I was so familiar with that. And when Disney would come along, everybody thought all the kids want to go see Disney. But what I didn't like was every time that they started the song, I'd get up and go get something to eat or popcorn. I didn't like the music and
So you basically missed
musicals.
the entire Fantasia movie?
Just about.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't so weird, it was so
Yeah, I liked
so
it.
dramatic.
I felt like what Fantasia was the animators were like, can we just go crazy?
I mean, everybody's smoking. We just
Yeah,
need to
like, we're
be
like-
able to let them watch this. That's why a lot of the
Or-
kids from my high school went, because they said it was such a trip.
Well, like, I feel like probably what happened was, and this is what I love about artists, is they're passionate. So they would do the Cinderella movies, and they're like, oh, I want to work on this. I want to have fun. I got this technique I want to, like, figure out. And then a bunch of them started staying late and started doing it and started just, like, having fun. Like, look what we did with Mickey. He's like, he's a wizard. And then they're like, oh, cool. And then this guy, they hired a new marketing guy or something. He's like, we got to make more money. And he comes in the room, like, what's all this artwork? We can make this into a movie, can't we? And they're like, okay.
I think they did go crazy.
And they're all
with
laughing. They're all laughing at the premiere, like, we were so high during this. Oh my I can't believe they made a movie.
I've been in marketing meetings where that's the kind of conversations they have. They'll have conversations among themselves and think this is really funny.
Yeah.
Or we need to do this. Let's do this. And they wanted to do a commercial where they were mocking the parents that didn't buy this product for their kids. And if they didn't buy it, they were, they didn't love you, and that they wanted to say that kind of stuff. And I said, guys, hey, you're the marketing people. But I'm telling you, if I was a parent and that came on and said, your parents must not love you if they haven't bought you it was a game that had just come out. I said, that would make me mad, and I wouldn't buy it. So they went, well, and so the head guy said, let's toss that around a little more. Let's do some focus groups. That was real big. Focus groups were so big. And I went to a focus group where they have the big window and they can't see you, and it's so stupid. And so they have everybody watch the commercial, and it was they were parents. There were parents there, and I said, I would never buy that. Why would you make fun of the parents and tell the kids your parents must not love you? It was what was popular then. There was one of the games.
Rollerblades.
No, one of the games.
Roller skates.
No, one of the gaming people came out with a thing where you could buy
Trouble.
You could have 7 or 8 games on this, and I can't.
A chessboard.
No, who are the most popular game manufacturers?
Mattel.
Not Mattel.
Hasbro.
Not Hasbro.
And
It start with an S.
I mean, I'm not
you're not? Okay.
an expert in this. I tried. I felt like that was like I was going to get that right with Mattel.
It was so revolutionary that they were going to put this out, and you could have all these different games if you had Warner Cable and you had this, you bought this gaming system.
Oh, so it's like a video game.
Yeah, it was a video game.
Like a Sega channel.
Sega.
You're talking about Sega channel.
Sega. Remember Sega?
You're talking about Sega channel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Okay, so they wanted to.
I didn't have one. My best friend had one, and we had a great time with it.
But see, if your parents would have seen them do a commercial saying, if your child doesn't have Sega, he doesn't have it.
Well, I already knew my parents didn't let me, so I didn't need to be reminded.
But that was really just a stupid idea. But that was young people in there, thinking this would be cool. Let's make fun of the parents, so the parents get embarrassed if they don't buy this. Then they'll buy it because they'll be so embarrassed that we're calling them, you don't love your kids if you don't buy this. And I was like, y'all. I told the vice president, I said, you need to be in some of those meetings and not let them go crazy, because if they would have sent that straight over to us,
you would have done the voiceover like a champ.
Hey,
and,
let's do it.
and then you'd be like, this is terrible, but I need my paycheck.
Buzz.
Yeah, because you basically are in that scenario where you sold your soul several times.
No, not several
paycheck.
times. Not several times, because they wanted me to do a voiceover for Caligula. Now, this I did research on, and all my guys that were going to go shoot this, they were going to set up a.
You're talking about the movie, right?
No, this is the club Caligula that was on Westheimer or something, and it was a strip club.
I like that.
It was a strip club. So my guys were so excited.
Clever name.
They were back. They were.
Makes you feel smart because you know history.
They were packing.
And
I know what it is.
And you know what it is.
Yes, I know.
If you know what history is, you're like, that sounds like a place I want to go. I feel special there.
No, so I knew what this was. Luckily, so I called the guy. He was vice president too of marketing, and I said, "Listen, I just wanted to let you know we're not going to be doing that spot for the Caligula spot. We are not going to do it." And he said, "No, you have to do it. They've already, said they want to be on Warner, and they want to be on. It'll be after 10 o'clock, Cindy. It's going to be after 10." And I went, "No, we're not going to do it." And I'm not going to have them do that, so you can fire me or whatever you want to do, but I'm not going to do that spot. And he goes, "That's the most ridiculous thing." So he calls my boss. Then my boss calls me in and says,
you have standards
why do you...
in show business?
No, so luckily my boss was a woman. So the woman calls me in, and I said, "Look, you think I want to put on this air and advertise what these girls are having to do, and this is really cool, and make this something that's normal.
Your
because
parents
we're gonna
hate
show
you.
it. No.
Come to
yeah.
Caligula.
So anyway, she said, "Well, they can't make you if that's your complaint, then they
Oh,
can't
man.
make you do it." And so she called me back and said, "You're just gonna get an outside group to do it. It's no big deal."
And you never got another job again.
No.
And
was
it
fine.
says, and you finally on the day you quit, like, what happened? They'd be like, well, you're hard to work with.
That's right.
That's basically
She
what-
refused to do the spots we wanted her to do.
No, the corporate term is you're hard to work with.
No,
So-
see, they burned me once with the.
No, I get
if
it.
you're up all
I
night.
get it, but I mean, you're working for a person who does all sorts of jobs,
Oh, yeah.
and I would have fired you.
You would have fired me?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Or I would have just been like, any job that pays well, she's not getting because we don't know what her standards are.
Right. Well, they should have.
And that would be my excuse for every job you didn't get. Like, we didn't know if you'd be offended by it, so we didn't want to even ask because you're so easily offended all the time.
Right. You're so sensitive.
Yeah, like this was an ad for candy. We figured you just didn't like candy because it gives you cavities.
Right.
So you
I
don't
want to hurt the children
Yeah,
of the
don't
world.
want to hurt the children.
Think of the children. What about the children? Yeah.
I would have laughed so hard when I heard you would say no to that. I'd be like, does this woman want to work here?
I think you would have probably fired me. Yeah. So that's why.
Well, no, honestly, I would have been like, just don't give her any jobs unless we really need her.
Yeah.
Because that wasn't your main job. Like, you weren't just the voiceover lady.
No, it wasn't the voiceover. I had to produce it. I had to go direct it and produce and come up with an idea. They said, just come up with an idea and
I wonder
just
how
creative.
Yeah, you could do a good job with that. Caligula, you have a lot of fun with that.
And it made my camera.
Like, you can even do, like, I already have an idea. You make it interesting, like you're reading a book, because you read your book, you had imagination goes wild. So it's like, oh, visit Caligula, because your imagination can go wild. And he like opens the book, and like reading the history of Caligula.
Yes, my imagination goes straight to porn. But
Well, if you're reading about Caligula, you're like, it's a little bit of violence, a little bit of...
it was horrible, man. So I was trying to explain to my guys, I'm sorry, but we're not gonna
you've been
do
fired.
this.
I would have fired you.
And they were so mad at me. I mean, it took a while for them to ever. They did something. They would have
And you wonder why women have glass ceilings,
no
right?
No, this is.
And the pay gap.
They would always want me to go into my office for meetings. Let's have the meeting in your office.
You had your own office?
Yes. At one time, Warner.
Wow.
I know it.
I didn't know they gave offices to people like you.
Yeah. So, but they said let's have it in your office. I said okay. So I had like 3 guys shooting for me, and
Did you have candy in your office? Like,
no.
Did you have any
So
of those things where like you offer people when they come into your office?
No.
Yeah, so office sounds terrible.
No, it was just we're never hardly there because we were out in the field shooting stuff.
You literally just said they always wanted to have meetings in my office.
Right.
So you're always in your office with meetings.
No, it's not. I'm just saying when we have a meeting, they always wanted to do it in my office, and I found out why is because they would take the remote and they would flip through the channel, and they had.
Put
They
the
had
bad stuff on. And
pornographic
so, yeah, I get you.
channels
You
going.
worked for the devil. We know what happened.
And so they would have that playing, and they would sit there and listen to me, and if I felt like they thought I was going to turn
let
around.
me ask you this. This is going to be challenging. I'm just thinking of this, so you don't have to answer.
Mm-hmm.
So if you knew the company you worked for supported, financed, produced that kind of content, why did you work for them?
They didn't. Time Warner Local didn't produce that stuff.
Well, if they're able to come into your office and turn on your television and find a naughty channel
Yes.
in your office.
In my office, yes.
Yeah, in your office.
But
So clearly they're supporting it by having it on the television in your office.
No, it was not in.
They're condoning that channel to be available on
It was
Time
closed
Warner.
circuit. It was closed circuit.
So it's even worse.
Throughout the throughout the building.
But I want to
everybody had
know,
this.
why would you feel okay with that?
I'm telling you, I didn't know they were watching the porn behind my back while I was having this
No,
meeting
I know,
with them.
I know.
So And then when they thought I was going to turn around, they just turned it back, because we always watched the O.J. Simpson trial. That was what we
I know.
watched
I'm
all
just
the
saying. I
time.
always wondered that.
So
Like, you allow some things, but you don't allow others. I won't do this commercial, but I'll let the whole industry that I work in, and especially the building I work in, get
no,
paid
they
for
did
that
not.
kind of stuff. I mean, we're going to run those channels. We're going to, I mean, part of the money you made for them went to support that.
No,
I mean, basically, you're a sex trafficker, is what I'm trying to say. Like, you're basically a sex trafficker.
no, it's so hard to get Richard to understand things.
Is that why you're selling pills?
That's why what?
You got addicted to that world? Is that why you're selling pills?
You know, it's times like these, Richard, when I'm being
I love you so
harassed,
much.
and
I know,
I'm going
just
to
messing
HR.
with- I'm just messing with you. I love you. You're a good worker. I love it. I know that's why they kept you there, because you're good at your job. So clearly,
Well, that was the only
or no,
reason.
sorry, the jobs you actually did. I mean,
Well,
sometimes you wouldn't do jobs.
Because when I came into that job, they wanted me to do all the work for free. They said, don't charge our clients for production. I said, y'all are crazy. They'll pay for production, because it's like a third of the cost they would if they had to hire somebody to come in from outside. And they said, I don't think they'll pay for it, because we've done it for free for so long. I went, well, let's see. So it took a minute, but it worked, and they started making money off of it. So it was...
Or you could
It
just
worked out well.
do the back end package. So, because they're making this commercial to air on your station. Mm-hmm. And you just say, hey, our usual contract's for 6 months, but if you want production included, you have to do it for 2 years.
Okay. You know how much we charged per commercial?
Probably a lot.
Tell me what you think it was.
Like at 7 p.m. commercial time right there per spot.
Not the buy. The buy is different than the actual production cost. What would be the production cost for that 30-second spot, do you think?
At Caligula's?
No, not
Caligula's, I would have.
no.
Are the girls getting paid by the hour?
No,
'Cause
like
that's what they're used to. So the price could be really high.
Listen,
Okay.
think more like Tractor, the tractor store off of 45.
I don't know. I mean, a couple grand.
Oh, $600 is all we charged. And that was like a big deal
That's like
at that
gas.
time. And especially for being on a cable, because no one really knew how many people were watching this. You know, like really y'all don't have any way to track this, so we don't know if this is right or not. And then they came up with a way that they thought you could track it and put it in somebody's home, in enough homes, and then
And
see.
people were okay with that. Isn't that kind of weird?
And they were
Like
yes.
no one ever thought Big Brother with that kind of stuff.
No, but when they
but
put
they-
that in their home, they got some free channels.
Well,
so.
I get it, but I'm saying, like, it's funny when everyone's like, "Oh, the cell phones, Apple's tracking me," but you literally had a company going, "We're gonna put this box in your home
Right.
to track you."
Now, Time Warner did that. Was the big fall of Time Warner, because they had these lines going into your home,
Yeah.
and it's connected to your TV, and you had this, and whatever you pushed, they tracked it. They knew how many times people watched
No,
something.
yeah, that was the Neeson ratings.
And it was,
Or
I mean,
Nelson, or is it
talk about
Neeson?
Big Brother. No, this was no.
Oh, this is separate.
This was separate because, and they were tracking everything you
know,
did. So
I really wanted to talk to you about this.
what?
So you just reminded me of this thing I read, that the son of the guy who made Buc-ee's. Have you seen this?
Made Fluffy?
Buc-ee's, the gas station.
Oh, but yeah,
Yeah, Fluffies.
but
Fluffies. Yeah, I'm talking about Fluffies.
I don't,
Buc-ee's. You've been to Buc-ee's,
Buc-ee.
right?
Yes, I've been to
I feel like
Buc-ee's.
you're a Buc-ee's person
yeah.
because you're dressed like the mascot right now. The son got caught, and I want to say this is fake news because when I read it, like, that's too funny. He got caught with surveillance equipment in the bathrooms. And I'm thinking, I was like, this has got to be fake because whoever wrote this is not real. That's too funny.
No.
That's too funny.
That's not funny, Richard.
Yeah, that is funny because think
That's-
about that.
oh.
That's our main staple. It's like, come visit Buc-ee's
Yes,
because our
because the
bathrooms are
restrooms.
so
That's
clean.
Exactly. I drove way out of the
And
way
then
to go
apparently
there.
the son is just putting cameras in the bathroom.
Oh my!
But
That's your worst nightmare. I mean, every woman thinks that's what's happening. They're looking around.
because
all the
women
time.
make everything about themselves.
They're thinking that
course.
somebody has got a camera.
Because
on
when I
them.
go to the bathroom, I'm like, I hope someone's watching. This is a great show. Come to Caligula's. Ladies' Night, Tuesday.
Do you secretly wish you were a Chippendales dancer? Do you see yourself? You've ever fantasized about that?
Well, I know at least at one point, one woman liked me. So, yeah, I know I'm
Sure.
I just,
Sure. Yeah.
That's all I care about.
That's an audience
And
of
then
one.
it took 8 years for her to decide not to like me.
Is that?
So it's, I mean, I got to, that's my threshold.
Did you hear what I said?
That's my threshold. Audience of one, yeah.
Is that where y'all got that name for your show? That's
Oh.
no. I think
Here, I'm going to make sure it's not fake. Because when I read that, I was like, this has got to be a joke.
you're gonna look that up.
Yeah.
You're gonna scare everybody off of. You're gonna get sued. I had nothing
Oh, yeah.
to do.
He was, 28 invasive visual. Yeah.
Which
7
one?
days
Which
ago. He
Bucky?
had 28 sons.
Which Bucky? Did he have them in all of them? And
Let's see.
and he sat in a room with all these cameras that were in different locations. Does it say?
Well, I wonder if it.
It's not the one on 45.
Oh,
just
so no, it wasn't. Okay, so it wasn't in the bathrooms. I was totally wrong. But when I read the headline, that's what I assumed.
Oh, Richard.
I think it looks like he put it around his home because he lived on a lake. And a woman reported that she and a few friends were visiting the lake house with Mitchell, with the person, and one person who works in cybersecurity noticed a charging port with a hidden camera plugged into the wall of their bathroom. So he would have people over because he's rich and film people.
Oh, in his bathroom.
Yeah, in his lake house.
Okay, that's okay.
Man,
All
I was really hoping. I was like, when I read that headline,
Richard,
I was like, no way.
You have got to say you're sorry. You have to apologize for that. Bucky's is fine. All the restrooms are clean and of cameras. They don't have cameras in there.
Well, they could. You don't know.
Shut up. That's
Oh man,
that's what you love because
great.
you go in there and you close the door and it's not like whoever puts some of these bathrooms together in the women's bathroom and they try and put the doors together and there's that much space between the door and it's like everybody, it's awful. And so Bucky's was great because you go in there and you close the door and you're like your own little bathroom. No,
Oh.
they can't even see your
All right,
legs.
You're good. Don't worry about it. That's never happened ever on this earth. So this, I walked into the studio today, and I wanted to show you this. This guy had this pewter blue Porsche, and look at the license plate.
I can't read that.
It says "Woohoo."
What? It's a WOO.
No, it says WU and a heart, HOOO.
Woohoo!
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 So I really, if
you got to show that too.
If anyone out there knows a person who owns it looks like pewter blue. I don't really know. It's a nice color.
That's beautiful.
But it's a beautiful looking car. It's a Porsche, but the license plate says "Woohoo."
I'll have to start
I have to
looking
give
at
that person credit for being very creative and having fun with their life.
And you could show. You got to show.
He
Chris,
probably has cameras in their bathroom.
Yeah, probably. You have to show. You have to show Chris that tomorrow. Chris Wootton will be here tomorrow. He is going to be talking about budgets, and I think we're going to be able to get Sam, my husband, to give him some advice about how he should talk to me about my budget. And so anyway, budgets are very difficult, and budgets have not been around that long. So
Yeah, they have.
no, they haven't. I looked up the history of budget. Look up the history of budgets. When did a budget start? When did people even start calling it a budget? And it hasn't been around that long. It wasn't like in the 16th century or anything like that. So it would you have
1760.
to 1760. It's just right around the corner.
But that was like a governmental thing. He
Right.
the chancellor of this place presented a national budget to Parliament.
Right. And we're
So
gonna-
personal budget was probably way before that because
No, I think it came from the example from the government, which is a horrible example because they can't ever
I knew
keep
you
the
were gonna do
budget.
this. All right, we got to close up the show.
Okay. I want to say thank you so much to all of our first responders. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I don't know what's going on over off of 105 at the park. They're getting ready to have what's coming up? Catfish? What's coming up?
Catfish Festival's this weekend.
Catfish Festival's coming up. And they've already got the Ferris wheel and everything up. It's just
You know
cool
what's weird
looking.
is I feel like every year they do the Catfish Festival. These what do you call them? Carnies?
Yeah.
Is that the
Yes,
polite
the
term?
carnies,
Is that
yeah.
the polite? No, I was kidding.
I don't think that's polite,
I
but
know. But every year they seem to be unloading earlier and earlier. Because today is Wednesday.
Yeah.
They were here yesterday, blocked off the streets.
Oh,
And I
they
was like,
did?
Tuesday? Man, like, I feel like it's a little early. It doesn't even open until Friday. Like, why not just close down this whole place for a week?
yeah, and get that all set up. But it looks very cool. It looks like it's even bigger than it was like the last time I went to the Catfish Festival.
Oh, it's going to be a wonderful festival. They're going to be on my show tomorrow, I believe at 9 a.m. on Lone
Wait,
Star
why didn't I
Community
get
Radio.
them? I couldn't get them. I couldn't have them next week.
I only give you the ones that I think will be okay on your show.
Okay, I want you to write out a criteria. Why you think that would be what?
Like Chris Wootton, financial hardcore talker about serious stuff. Cindy Cochran
Perfect
show.
for my show.
2 p.m. tomorrow.
Perfect.
Budget planning. We're going to learn all about how little Cindy knows.
About budget planning and can stay with it. But the other thing is, I want everybody to remember, please, please, please be praying for Israel and all the people and all
Palestine
the people.
too. How about just people
Well,
in general? How about we
innocent.
Just
Isn't that what we
blanket-
say?
yeah,
Innocent people.
Innocent people. Not Time Warner though. They were not innocent at
No.
Time Warner. All those people were the workers
Pray
for the devil.
for the innocence of the people, the poor people that are caught in the gunfire and all that stuff. It's ridiculous. But anyway, pray for Israel. And if you don't pray for Palestine, that's up to you. But
Well, now we know where she stands. Isn't that great? Now everyone knows like where people stand about this.
well, sure, you should. But it's a horrible thing that's going on. This is a real war. This is like a real.
Oh, you mean
war
like the
going
Ukraine
on.
thing? Or
No.
like what was before Ukraine?
like- no.
Afghan? Like, what
No,
else we
it's
got?
like-
Iraq? What else we got?
Okay, but I mean, this is even closer to home in the sense that this is our ally, and we've got to take care of them. I mean, Ukraine is our ally, but
I don't see why we have to lie about stuff. It's like, yeah, we're going to help them because they have XYZ. We want XYZ.
no, they've
I don't see
been
why.
a very good friend to us too. But
I mean, have they?
yes,
Have they?
Yes, they have.
I mean,
Ooh, boy.
have they?
Okay, if I were you, I wouldn't say too much.
All right, Cindy Cochran Show, Wootton Financial tomorrow. Bye,
Be
Cindy.
there. I'll be square.
Oh my gosh, Cindy. Oh my. Get the coagulate. Get the white stuff. Get the white powder. Get the white powder.
Every week, people ask the same two questions. Are they ready to retire? Will their savings last for their lifetimes? Hi, this is Chris Wootton with Wootton Financial Group. Our firm has been in Montgomery County for decades, but the hopes and dreams of the people we serve never change. We help answer these two questions and many more that people have about their uncertain financial future. We have a simple introductory client experience that allows us to get to know the client and includes a few meetings for the client to kick the tires at no charge. We provide a concise, one-page summary that helps the client get a better handle on which questions are the right questions for them. To learn more about Wootton Financial Group's process in helping their clients to a clearer financial future and to see their contact information, visit Cindy Cochran Show page on irlonestar.com/TCCS. Wootton Financial Group is a proud sponsor of the Cindy Cochran Show. Wootton Financial Group is available by phone at 936-449-5952 or visit them on the web at www.woottonfinancial.com. That's www.woottonfinancial.com.
This program is sponsored by the Wootton Financial Group. It is not the intent of Wootton Financial Group to render or offer personalized investment advice or financial planning advice through this radio program or any related website. Wootton Financial Group's participation in this program is limited to providing general information on financial matters and should not be construed as financial recommendation or investment advice. Investment advisory services are offered through Game Plan Advisors, Inc., a registered investment advisor registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission and the state of Texas. Insurance services are offered through Wootton Financial Group, Inc. Game Plan Advisors and Wootton Financial Group, Inc. are affiliated through common ownership, and neither firm is affiliated with The Cindy Cochran Show. No listener should assume that any information presented and or made available on this program serves as the receipt of or a substitute for personalized individual advice from Game Plan Advisors, Wootton Financial Group, or any of their representatives.